Hey everyone, Felipe here. Welcome to another Tower of Saviors GNN news review. This week we have a pretty interesting one. We have a brand new power release of a black gold card, and this time it's going to be Qing's turn. It's going to be pretty exciting, so let's get started with it. As always, whenever a black gold card is power released, it comes with a draw machine where you can guarantee it, and this time you can guarantee either Qing or Himiko for your 40 draws. However, I don't really recommend it because it's a lot of draws and we have a lot of exciting events coming up, so I don't know if you want to save your diamonds for that. But what we're truly interested in this GNN news review is going to be the leader skill, team skills, and active skills of this card. So after power release, his base form has a pretty good leader skill. He has plenty of attack multipliers times 10 times 6, an additional times 8, and runestone possession effect. So overall, this leader skill is pure attack. It actually provides a lot of multipliers. This is a times 80 for your entire dragon team and a times 480 for your leader, which is honestly pretty good. Moving on to his team skill, we have pretty much the same that he had in the past. You extend runes of movement time, ignore sticky dragon rune trail, but additionally we have the clear electrified runestones and electrified enemies for one turn if you touch electrified runes. You also prevent tornadoes, which is really nice because that is something that is not normally seen. It is very situational, but it's pretty good. And we have a couple of utility shield breaks, like fixed combo shield, and you also get a times 6 attack for 15 combos that you make. So it's just pure attack on. And dragon, so this one's very interesting. At the beginning of the stage and at the end of the first round, dragon's skill cooldowns become 0 and you fully recover skill EP. And this is really important. It's actually a very slight change to his original team skill. His original team skill would make your cooldown 0 at the beginning of the stage. However, if you encounter a cooldown reset mob in the first stage, you were basically kind of dead in the water. And your ramp up period would be really slow, and the Qingwei team would just be really slow. And that's because like every time you activate a skill, you gain an additional attack multiplier, and that's permanent. So what you wanted to do is activate all your skills when you could by taking advantage of this cooldown reduction in the beginning. Our Mad had decided to counter this theme when Qingwei came out by adding mobs that will reset your cooldown. So if that happens, it doesn't matter because this second effect at the end of the first round, it allows your cooldowns to be 0, and that allows you to activate your skills again and get that permanent. Okay, so it is a very slight change, but honestly is very good. And for each dragon runestone dissolved, you recover HP. That stays the same. The amount of HP increases a little bit from his original form. And that is actually really good because you do have an enchanted trail. Not enchanted trail. You have a dragon trail that provides you with dragon runestones and allows you to heal. And that is really good because Qingwei doesn't have any recovery, and as you know, dragon recovering is basically shit. So being able to recover HP like that is going to be really good. But yeah, so his team skill overall, it's basically multipliers on multipliers with a couple of utility. The electrify rune thing is really nice to be able to remove them while moving. And being able to electrify enemies, while it's nice, it does rely on them electrifying your board first, which it's not going to happen that often. So yeah, and maybe those enemies will have uncontrollable too, so it is situational, but it is nice. Looking at his active skills, the way they improve, it's basically just adding a little bit more multiplier and additional utility. So in the past, you would only alter attributes of the enemy into the type that you touched. But now you get that plus some puzzle shield, initial shield break, and a ×2 attack multiplier. So that is really nice, especially on a C5 skill. Then his second active skill is his switching, and that also basically stays the same, except you also get cooldown reduction and EP increase, which also allows you to uh, build up that multiplier for the permanent attack boost for his team, which is really nice. And when you switch, you get a different leader skill, and this is where it actually plays with his team skill, right? Because he normally doesn't have any combo increasing potential, and so making 15 combos in a round, it's going to be basically relying on RNG skydrop, and you don't want to do that for consistency, right? However, when you switch, your leader skill changes and it allows you to build up combos. And this is another improvement from his original form, is that before it would count your combos in the first batch and then add them to your second round. However, after power release, this number of first batch combos gets multiplied by 2 and added to your combo count on the second round. This is going to make it really easy to reach 15 combos and allow you to get your max damage multiplier. However, keep in mind that when you switch your Qingque into his dragon form, you do lose out on some personal damage, and yeah, you lose some personal damage, but you allow your team to deal more damage. Here's the thing. So you do get a ×10 attack boost that stays the same. All dragon members get a ×4 attack bonus, and you get double the combo count on your next round. Also, Runestone Possession effect increases by 200% instead of the regular 100%. So basically that doubles your damage because each runestone has double effect. If you're keeping track, basically this leader skill is a ×80 for a dragon team, multiplier wise, which is the same as regular human form Qingque without counting his self attack boost, right? So that's where I say your personal damage drops by a little bit, but your overall team stays the same multiplier wise. But you do have to take into account extra combos, which will give you a higher damage output as well. So yeah, honestly, you do want to have at least your leader or ally switched first thing in the battle, just so you can get that combo effect and reach maximum multiplier with your 15 but yeah, so moving on to his team skill, it's basically word for word the same thing, so I'm not gonna read it. Same thing, very good. And now we're going to look at his active skills, right? So his first active skill is EP5, basically stays the same but with a couple effects or additional effects. The first one is that if you tap runestone, an attribute of runestone, you turn the enemy into those attributes. But if you turn or tap heart runes, you fully recover it, or you recover HP, which is also pretty. And an additional effect that his base form didn't. Also, you get a attack multiplier of ×5, which makes up for the loss that he had from his leader skill. And now you break puzzle shield, duo, trio, quartet, and duo, trio, and quintet elemental shield. Actually, I think they might have missed a quartet there. Duo, trio, quartet, and quintet elemental shield, and each dragon launches 2 extra attacks. So basically increases their damage output by a lot. And it helps you break some shields. Keep in mind that you are losing out on, but instead you get those attributive shield breaks in. However, the second effect or second active skill, EP6, is actually really good as well. It used to be really good before power release, but before power release, but now it has more, right? I think it used to be higher EP too. No, actually, it might be the same. But anyways, um, basically it's a drop rate transfer for 3 rounds, which is really good, and increases your attack damage, right? And Runestone drop rate for 3 rounds is actually not that bad, and actually helps you counter a lot of enemies that might uh, try to ruin your day with a certain type of rune. So yeah, and the thing is, yeah, this active skill basically stays the same with just some minor differences, and it's still pretty good, honestly. So all things considered, yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time on it because Cinque is a card that has been around for a long time, and the improvements are basically just to his multiplier and additional utility. And there lies my opinion about this card, right? Is that he's pretty good. He already got a buff before power release. People still didn't use him that much. And power release is definitely going to help him see some more play nowadays. Especially because he has a lot of multipliers and a lot of things going for him. And being able to activate all your skills from the get-go allows you to run a lot of things. But there are already a lot of other dragons in the game that are pretty good, like Power Release Azathoth, which is a very big powerhouse right now in the meta, and also Black Gold Novalis and Ursula, which is also a dragon that is comparable damage-wise to this card, or even better in actually. And the thing is, I've learned this the hard way that Power Release Black Gold cards honestly don't see that much play and also don't stay relevant for that long. Think about it, Power Release Tsuyo just came out recently and not that many people are using it. Like, there are definitely some people that are clearing stages with him, don't get me wrong, but not that many people are using him anymore. Compared to his first run when he was first released, you would see him everywhere. Um, so if you don't have Chingu, it is definitely 100% not worth it to pull for him just to power release. This is basically some uh, service to those people that already had Qingque and he was gathering dust in their inventory. It allows us basically to polish him and use him again after he's been forgotten in our inventories. However, if you're a new player, spending 40 diamonds to guarantee Qingque is not advisable in my opinion. I wouldn't recommend it because any card that comes out in the future is going to be better, I think. And so spending 40 diamonds when you cannot guarantee what else comes in that seal, you might get a lot of trash cards. So yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't recommend him for newer players that don't have him. Or for any player that doesn't have him, I wouldn't recommend pulling for him. But if you already have him, power release him 100% and have fun with him for a couple months. And he is pretty powerful for the current meta. But yeah, I will say I do think he is going to be pretty fun to play since we have a couple interesting support cards now in the game. For example, Dragon Javanor, which is dragon version of what's it called Yoko from the Gurren Lagann series, gives you a leader multiplier of ×3. So you pair that up with his ×6 leader multiplier in the first one, and you're going to get a very good damage output from him. Also, you can add a Draco from Starburst Pulses to increase your damage by a lot as well. So yeah, that seems pretty fun, but I will recommend that if you do run that team, you switch your ally and leave your leader as is so that you can benefit from the ×6 self attack bonus. But yeah, that's all about Power Release Qingque. Overall, a pretty nice improvement, but still not worth spending 40 diamonds for a brand new copy if you don't have him yet. And the last thing on the GNN is going to be a new Nightmare stage. This is going to be interesting. Nightmare stages are always interesting, so can't wait to challenge the stage. But let's take a look at his active skills. He has dual active skills, one at CD3 and one at CD7. CD3 one is actually really good because you get a tap 3 runestones to generate the light runes, and you may be able to activate that skill again and generate more light runes. Here's the thing though, if you have a Nesoi in your team, it gains both a team skill and 100% to reset the skill. But Nesoi is not that relevant anymore. So, well, it's a nice card, but they should have released it way before when Nesoi was relevant. But yeah, this CD3, pretty short CD, pretty short cooldown, but honestly the effects that it gives you, not that useful. You're only generating 6 enchanted god runes, so not that great. However, the CD7 skill is actually kind of better. It does incapacitate you for 1 round, but you do get rid of water and fire runes, which is pretty useful in certain scenarios. But most importantly, your leader and ally get an additional 2 times attack bonus, and dragon runes also possess the effect of all race runes. And this, for every extra light member present in the team, these effects will stay in play for 1 round to the max of 3 rounds. Actually, I take that back. I thought it was going to be a good skill. It's actually not that great. Yeah, no, it's not that great. I don't see any use case for it actually. Leader and ally times 2 is nice, but you do get more stuff from other buffers like, I don't know, light yen, diamond, things like that, where they benefit your entire team instead of just your leader and ally. And here's the thing, like if it were a continuous effect like I thought it was, it would be actually pretty good, because a constant times 2 for your leader and ally is worth it. But this only stays in play to the max of 3 rounds on a CD7. So that gives you 4 dead rounds, so not that great. And combined with a CD3 skill that only generates 6 runes, honestly, I don't think this card is really worth it especially for a Nightmare stage card. It seems very underwhelming in terms of active skill. But yeah, still excited to challenge the stage because Nightmare stages are actually fun for me. But the card itself is actually kind of disappointing. But yeah, that's going to be all for this GNN news review. Please let me know in the comments if I said anything wrong or if I missed anything. And as always, check out my YouTube channel for more Tower Saviors content. But for now, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone! 在漩涡与他相遇，召唤出惊喜的生活。